Okay? Welcome to another episode of VintageTech. Now, we're going to do the Xbox episode, but I decided to cancel it because I did not get a response from Phil Spencer. You know, the head of Xbox. But the good news is that I decided to do another episode. And today's episode is the TrackBall. Now, the last two episodes are about games and stuff. But this episode is going to be about a TrackBall. Now maybe, what's the point of going VintageTech when they're up to this point? Well, to be honest, I would have until up to this point. Yeah, it's TrackBall. Now, TrackBalls have been around for a while. Usually, we're going to talk about both of the topics, both on games, which is via the Sensory Arcade, and on computer mice. We're going to start with the computer mouse. Now, this is actually a modern one. I have this big rule about VintageTech. The tech must be 10 years old, regardless if it's discontinued. Yeah. Now, because this is the ball, and this is the mat, and this is the little adapter. Let's talk about this in more detail, shall we? Okay, here's what the TrackBall looks like. What we have here is a little device. I'll use the point. This is made by Logitech. Yeah, Logitech, my favorite computer peripheral company. Yeah. Now, in case you're wondering where this mouse is from, it's from this that uses the same USB adapter. Now, it's not one of those hybrid keyboard and mice that features a touchpad. Logitech, now the reason I'm saying this is that Logitech did produce those hybrids. Now, I actually used to have a TrackBall as a kid. Like, I used to have something similar to this as a kid, but the TrackBall being red instead of blue. Now, this one has serious double clicking issues. Oh, this one also features the battery. Right now. It takes one AA battery. We have it's an Now I had to take this apart because of the double clicking issue. I wonder if it's some gunk from stuff. Anyway, let's test this TrackBall out by using this on the computer which I'm editing this video on, this Asus computer. There's the original screen. While waiting for the GIMP to load, I just want to find out. I forgot to research who invented the TrackBall. It was invented by a guy by the name of Ralph Benjamin. Used to track aircraft. If you're in history class, they somehow forgot to mention this thing. And so, that's pretty neat. But the TrackBall became used in Atari stuff. More on that later. God, I always prefer an optical mouse. You know. But perhaps it became famous for Atari. More on that later. Now, there's also mouse that have a ball, but it's the reverse of a TrackBall. And also, those rollers who are notorious for getting crud in them. If you want to learn more, please check out the Epic Guys video. Card on the top. Check the card up there. If in case you don't know, I usually do mixed media. We usually have photos, Kisuke, 3D art, and even sometimes drawings. I rarely do drawings and I'm not that good at drawings. And another thing I do want to bring up is that I think that drawing caught the attention of Mediatonic. So they added a color palette in the game called since Fall Guys is too simple to draw. And one of the reasons why did you call that drawing poorly drawn, James? Well, elbows because of that third leg. I should edit that thing out. I should edit the third. I should do an edit. But anyway, let's do the standard 1920 by 1080. This time 300 ppi, which is pixels per inch. You set the advanced options. Pixels per inch only affects 32-bit integer. Color manage specific. Create a jump. Let's. Oh yeah, I forgot Metro again because I had a comment. Now the quality will not be too good, so let's open up a screen recorder. Alright, now let's type this in. MB. Now let's pick. Now I like the layers. Let's type it in. Let's type it in. MONADOBOY 16. I'm gonna pick red, as that's the color of mine. I picked 255 because if you won't, oh, by the way, don't buy them 255 to 100. All you need to do is, how much? I looked this up. On its own. And TrackBall, the TrackBall mouse. It's fine, but it doesn't really functional outside of arcade emulation. Oh, by the way, this is a wireless. You gotta turn off. Remove this little USB adapter that says Logi on it. Also, I wanted this universal because I wanted to work on one of my VintageTech mouses. And this goes in this little adapter here. And well, every wireless VintageTech mouse has a USB place to put the USB, and well, this one do. There's some exceptions though. For example, that VintageTech MX thing with the little thing actually doesn't contain a little adapter. But it doesn't but it has Bluetooth, so don't need to worry. And usually for the thing about those kinds of mouse is that you don't even need the USB holder since you have Bluetooth to fall back on. Which I didn't realize it has. But anyway, now on to the next part, which is games. And I have an arcade, and I have somebody to test it out on. Oh, before we go to there, I almost forgot to mention something. I need to show how this TrackBall actually... well, the ball... Well, notice that there's a little small hole in there, which in case you saw earlier, let's poke out with pinky. This ball. These little holders that hold the ball in place. And this is what makes it move. It's an optical sensor. It looks like this. It's an optical trackball. It looks like this. Moving the up is down moves it up. Moving up moves. Yeah, so that's what I need to show. Now, let's go to the main topic. Okay, somehow I forgot to record it! Anyway, take 2. Now, here's how to track. Now the main event: trackballs on arcade machines. Now trackballs are better suited for arcade games than computers, unless if you're using an emulator such as MAME. Now, they also sell trackballs for game systems such as Atari 2600, but it's just a joystick and trackball, and not an analog one. There's also Sega's sports pad, and there's one for the horrendous Philips CDI. Let's test it out with Centipede, the game that really defines trackball. Here comes fire. Yeah, I prefer this over. I played Atari Flashback Classics Volume 2 on the PS4 and Atari Arcade. I forget what that game is. I don't know what his name is. His name is on the iPad. But you know it's not as same without trackball. Unless you're using an emulator on MAME. Oh, here comes it. Ah, Jesus! And Scorpion poisons the mushroom. They use lots of pastel colors to make the game more attractive. You can't see that on camera, but I'm not sure. Now, shit off topic, but every arcade one machine now is actually on free play, and the Atari ones let's start 2 credits. But that's because you can actually start. Now, let's see what you can actually see. Let's see the controls. Now, if you want to return to the menu, all you do is press and hold the player 1 button for 5 seconds. Voila! Now let's try missile command. Now, I should also forgot to mention is that, unlike the previous trackball I showed, these one use rollers. And much like the rollers on those ball mouse, they needed to be cleaned. I actually learned that the hard way when I first got this for Christmas. I should get some alcohol wipes. Anyway, let's do. Also, seizure warning. Yeah, good. If you run out of ammo, all the missiles on me go down, unless we reach a certain score. You know, the missile command shockwave effect is very important, especially for racking up huge combos. Perfect! No cities destroyed. Shit, one of my cities were. Fuck. See? Bonus city. This is the hard part. Oh, I have one city left. Oh, Jesus. Oh, great score. Put my real name, JT. I want to see. Well, guess that's it. Okay, now TrackBall it's a bit mixed. TrackBall is good for arcade games, bad for computers. Using a track, it's like better for arcade games. And believe it or not, it's another bit off topic. This is not the only arcade one machine I have. I also got a Miss Pac-Man one for Christmas, and like this one, contains 2 games, and it both contains Miss Pac-Man and Super Pac-Man. Now sometimes they might contain 4 games. So there's a Miss Pac-Man variant that contains 4 games with 2 buttons. Yeah. Now, what's the next episode of VintageTech gonna be like? Well, I'll decide on it. I think it's gonna be. I know. Something that. I'll think about it until later. Until then, see you later. But, oh, by the way, I have a few things I should address. 1, live stream's gonna be on hiatus until February. In order to be safe from that a certain someone. And second, I can't think of an announcement, but oh, I'm gonna be moving in. Oh, I can't think about it. A new Minecraft episode may be in development soon, but the real news is the next episode of Form Frenchie will come sooner or later, as long as I get more Weebics. Until then, see ya.